Okay. And what's interesting about these scans, okay, is that we can look at the brain horizontally, vertically, or side to side.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a 3D. Okay. And the MRI scan is more sensitive to density changes in the brain than, say, a CT scan. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some scans taken vertically, okay, from front to back, back to front, okay? And the reason why I'm going to show you these scans is because we can begin to see where the stretching of the neurons is, okay? And you'll see some dark spots in the tissue. Those dark spots are stains from where the neuron stretched and left behind debris. Okay?
Okay.
So you're moving a lot in this scan.
That was the one there here with the loud noise. Do you remember?
Yeah, it was so loud when they were taking it. It was like a horror movie low noise, but it was just so loud. I think my brain hadn't healed by then, though.
You could probably tolerate it now.
I was kind of freaking out because of it. Yeah.
You see that dark spot there?
Yeah.
Okay. That's an area towards the crown. And you can see that there's a change there. You don't see it on this side, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see those dark spots there?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't see it on the other side either. So I'm going to go to a different scan here. And let me see if these are any better. See the white area there?
Mm-hmm.
You don't see it on the other side. That's an area. There's some blood back here. You don't see it on this side. What's important to know about this is that this blood is between the brain and the skull. Okay? It's not blood inside of the brain tissue itself. It's just in that space, in that membrane between the two. Okay?
Okay.
That should be absorbed over time. So I'm going to go up here and let's see if I can pull up your MRI from 2-4. Let's start down here. See that blood?
Yeah.
It's in the same, essentially in the same place, okay, that was there a couple weeks earlier, okay? And if you see that area there, and that area there, okay? That's an area that is reflective of the injury. It's in the right frontal portion. Looks like you've got something right there on the very top. Now your eyes are going to be here, okay?
Okay.
And this is going to be on the left side, right about here.
Okay.
And you got some blood in here. No biggie.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you've got this blood accumulation. This is vertical again, okay? Over here on the right.
Okay.
Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
So we'll start from the back and we'll go forward, okay? There, and you got a little bit of accumulation there. There, and some more there. Here. And there's your S. Your nose.
It's like a little fetus.
So the quality of these scans are not great because you were moving around, because you were so restless, okay? That's very typical with an injury like this.
Okay.
So when I try to have patients and their families begin to understand the anatomy, I think it's important to distinguish. There can, at least in your case, there's blood in between the brain and the skull, okay? And then there's areas of stain that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
And then also down deep, okay, inside of there were some areas of contrast that you saw that were different, okay? You didn't have a stroke, okay? Because what happens with a stroke is, think about the branches of or the root of a tree. If there's a clog at the root, anything downstream doesn't get the nutrition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing happens with a stroke. We don't see that with your injury, okay? What we see is the very typical effects of velocity. So your kind of injury isn't something that necessarily occurs when somebody gets punched or if they fall from a ladder. Okay, it comes from the velocity of speed and then deceleration. And the reason why that shows up in this tissue is because this is about the consistency of Jell-O or toothpaste. Okay, so you told me that you were rolling along. Don't know how fast, but you guys were smoking that morning.
Yeah. If you looked at my Garmin, we would know how fast it was.
Mm-hmm.
But we do know that the car hit me at 50 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that energy has to go somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So remember years ago they had those ball bearings that are suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there were typically 5 of them,
Mm-hmm.
and you pick one up, you let go, and it transfers the energy all the way over to the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Think about a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Let go, and that energy has to go somewhere. Okay. And it collided with you, and that's one of the reasons why, even though you were protected and helmeted, that energy transferred through and affected this tissue.
Mm-hmm.
So when we have what we call diffuse axonal injury, in other words, different areas in the brain that are affected by deceleration, okay, it takes a while for patients to be able to kind of wake up and become purposeful and identify what's going on. that's often a different kind of wake-up course than, say, if there's just a subdural hematoma, or even if there's a hemorrhage, okay, or a stroke. Because there's so many, what I'm going to call diffuse areas, it's hard for there to be connectivity where everything is coordinated and you got the arousal. So he was aroused, but he couldn't remember what was going on a day-to-day basis. Okay, we're through that phase now. He remembers. So you've emerged from the post-traumatic amnesia. Okay. Post-traumatic amnesia is what happens when there's this disruption in the neurochemistry and the neuroanatomy. Okay? So things have to become exquisitely balanced again so that they can work in tandem, and you can be aroused, awake, aware, and attentive. And once you have enough attention and you can stay focused on something, then you have an opportunity to get it into the memory bank. Okay? But if you're an electron in a box, how are you going to remember? Because you can't pay it attention, because you're just bouncing. So initially, your attention was like a Super Bowl in a box. Okay? One of the first times I met you, you were talking about, you were making a reference to the Broncos playing in the Super Bowl, that they were going to play. But the game had been over for about a week and a half.
Yeah.
So this makes sense to us, and you make sense to us, but because you've never done this before, or because the family hasn't seen it before, it's brand new. This is your first rodeo.
Okay.
And you're doing great. And it's going to take a long time. And it's going to take a lot longer than you want it to. And I don't know how to tell you that any other way.
Okay.
Okay? It will take a very long time for this brain to kind of recover and heal and recover and heal and recover and heal. It doesn't mean that when you stand up and you can walk and do stairs, you're done. If we put you on a bike right now, you'd fall over.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
Yeah, and we're not going to do that. Okay? We're not going to put you at risk.
Okay.
Okay? Because you can't hurt your head again.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? And Mom's getting this on tape, and I'm telling you right now, you can't hurt your head again.
Okay.
Okay?
Gotta keep this safe.
That's right.
If we're going cycling, we gotta put a giant air bubble right around there.
Well, you never know. Your mom may send you out of the house with a helmet.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Yeah, we were looking at my helmet. There were pictures of